Welcome to Warhammer Warscroll Review. Let's look at the infinitely augmentable Warscroll, Skeleton Chariots. Warscroll Review. Skeleton Chariots are extremely versatile. There's a lot of combos to go over, so I'm just going to tell you the important parts. 10-inch move makes them pretty maneuverable, and 5 wounds per model, making it 15 wounds per scroll. That's pretty good for 140 points. Starts out at 3 and goes up to 12 and makes it 560 points. So you can spend a little or a lot, obviously. They're battle lines, so do what you will with them. And they have 3 weapons. They have 1 missile weapon, kind of good for harassing units, and 2 other melee weapons. And the important part is they have 6 attacks in total with those melee weapons. Since their models were designed in old fantasy days, they come with the full command unit. So the champion is extra attack, Icon Bearer gives them an extra model in the hero phase, and the Hornblower makes them always charge at least 6 inches. But their special ability is the really important part of the Skeleton Chariots, and it allows them to double their attacks on the turn that they charged. Skeleton Chariots have the Death Rattle keyword and Skeleton keyword, making them usable in a lot of different combos. So it really depends on how you want to use them. You can either use them as a harassing unit if you have them in small model count units, or an objective grabber if you're also going with the small units. But if you want to go the damage dealer route, you gotta start with probably maxing them out, or maybe at least getting 9 of them. But either way you go, there's a lot of combos to think about. I'd probably always start with Deathless Minions and Ruler of the Night on top of that. The Tomb Herald with the banner allows them to bring back another model in the hero phase along with their regular standard. The Vampire Lord on the Abyssal Terror has a spell called Hellish Vigor that lets them double their move to 20 inches. If you're going down the damage route, you're probably always going to start with the Necromancer. Van Hale's Dance Macabre adds a whole bunch of attacks by allowing them to pile in and attack twice in the combat phase. I've been using that as a separate activation. I'm not sure the Games Workshop has ruled it either way, but I'd totally like to hear what you guys think about that. I kind of favor either modifying wound rolls or hit rolls. If you're going to be favoring wound rolls, you could reroll 1s to wound with the Necrotect, and also it gives them an extra 3 inches to move, making them 13 inches. The Royal War Sphinx has a command ability that gives +1 to wound. If you favor modifying hit rolls, you could use the Tomb Kings command ability, gives them +1 to hit, run, and charge. Lich Priest has a spell called Righteous Smiting that gives them an extra attack on a 6 to hit. But Cetra is when the chariots start becoming really insane. He has an ability that doubles their move and lets them fly. Coupled that with Abyssal Terror spell that doubles their move again, you have a 40-inch move with chariots, and then you can still charge. Cetra has a command ability that gives them +1 to hit and +1 to wound, but he also has an ability that allows mummy characters to use their command ability even if they're not their general. Now let's stack some buffs and do some math, because when you give them Van Hale's Dance Macabre, Righteous Smiting, and +2 to hit, you get some crazy numbers. So if you had 12 chariots, they have 6 attacks. That's 72 attacks. On the charge, they get 144 attacks when it doubles. If you're giving them +2 to hit, they're gaining an extra attack from Righteous Smiting on a 4-up. So half of those 144 attacks, 72 attacks, are giving you an extra to hit roll, making 216 attacks. But no, you're not done, because you casted Van Hale's Dance Macabre, and they're piling twice. So 432 attacks later, whatever you touched was dead. To be fair, chariots have big bases, and you're probably not going to get all 12 chariots in, but it doesn't matter. There's 432 attacks potential. You're going to kill whatever you want to hit. And it's so easy to give them a 2-up to hit, or up to 2-up to wound. So you could have an insane-ass chariot unit moving 40 inches, still charging, and spitting out 432 attacks. I don't know that there's much in the game, if anything, that can take that. Maybe a 2-up rerollable save? You're still putting a dent in it, at the very, very, very least. If you're taking Cetra and a bunch of chariots already, you can pretty much upgrade that Tomb King to a battalion of chariots and Cetra for 140 points. This will give them mortal wound output and still give them +1 to hit. I didn't really go into it because there's still a lot of other abilities you can use to buff chariots because of the death rattle and skeleton keywords, but there's still a lot of vampire models in the game that have command abilities that give you a whole bunch of extra stuff. But I kind of just think Cetra and even the Tomb King, their command abilities are just a little bit better. I'd probably start with one of those two and then expand from there. Chariots can kind of work in any death army. They don't need a lot of buffs, but they definitely love to get them. For the opponent side of things, how much you want to kill the chariots probably really depends on how many characters around there buffing these chariots. First of all, with most death units, you're going to take out the characters. Deathless minions gets in the way a lot, and so do all the other things that I've been enumerating in this video. But if they don't have any buffs, you can pretty much use whatever, but still be wary because they have 72 attacks on the charge. As long as you can avoid the charge, you can really knock down what the chariots can really do to anybody. Now, even taking in consideration that they can pump out 432 attacks, I'd still give them a 4 out of 5, because although they're really good, it takes a lot of combos to make them good, so you kind of end up putting a lot of points into them if you want to make them that uber insane unit that I was talking about earlier. In any case, chariots are an excellent battle line for any death army, and honestly you're probably going to be seeing them a lot, because a lot of people like Tomb Kings, and Tomb Kings in general are just kind of really good. Please leave a comment below letting me know what you think about the Skeleton Chariots. Did I miss some good combos? Do you feel like I exaggerated their value? Also, let me know any Warscrolls you'd like to hear covered. Thanks for watching.